Evolution and natural selection have already taught us what foods we should consume for optimum performance. Let me explain. The humans that currently inhabit the earth have a genetic makeup that was best suited to survive the environment that their ancestors endured over thousands of years. Based on this idea, many people argue that today's gene pool is best suited to the diets that were readily available to those ancestors. Enter the paleo diet. Homo sapiens, or modern humans as we know them, have been around for 300,000 years. From 300,000 BC to 10,000 BC is called the Paleolithic Age, and the average diet at that time consisted of, shocker, whatever the hell they could get their hands on, which was number one, animal protein like birds and their eggs, fish, if you lived in coastal areas, hares, and large game too, but I'll omit here since you're not going to be finding too much rhino and mammoth meat in Whole Foods. Number two, nuts like almonds, walnuts, pistachios were huge. Number three, seeds like wild mustard seeds, wild pea seeds, and bitter vetch seeds. And number four, a ton of fruits and vegetables like berries, grapes, figs, yams, onions, spinach. Basically, imagine grabbing a little bit of everything at the cafeteria salad bar, except dairy and grains. Really get the most obscure stuff. I want that plate looking more colorful than Lucky the Leprechaun's birthday party during Gay Pride. Throw on some animal protein onto that plate, and you're about to shove hundreds of thousands of years worth of natural selection into your gut. But I'm going to take it a step further. There are 12,000 more years of naturally selecting our gut that we aren't accounting for. Enter the agricultural revolution in 10,000 BC, ending the Paleolithic area and beginning the Neolithic. More important than the eras, though, for the purpose of this video, is the average diet that was consumed during those next 12,000 years. Diet went from exclusively what could only be hunted and gathered to what could also be heavily cultivated on a farm and harvested from domesticated animals. The biggest new staples were, number one, grains like wheat, barley, corn, millet, and bread made out of these and other grains. Number two, legumes like lentils, beans, chickpeas. And number three, dairy products, namely milk and cheese. So on average, the most common dietary ingredients looked a lot like the average paleo meal, except you throw in a little grain or legumes and a little dairy to the plate, which by the way is almost exactly what a Mediterranean diet and the Blue Zone diets promote. Barring any allergies and obvious intolerances, this is what the ideal diet will look like for most. It's simple evolution. Our guts are designed like a well olive oiled machine for optimum absorption and digestion of the products mentioned, or products like them. Not to mention, these ingredients are optimal in strengthening our gut lining and microbiome. Our microbiome, by the way, is one of the most crucial factors in shaping our immune system. And the immune system is one of the biggest drivers of natural selection, second to reproductive patterns, resource acquisition, and predator avoidance. Basically, eat right and don't get predated, foo. Last thing worth mentioning, high sugar, refined grains like white flour, and artificial anything, like pesticides, genetically modified ingredients, artificial sweeteners, etc., have become huge parts of the average worldly diet in the last 100 years. The average sugar consumption prior to the 1800s was about 5 grams per day. Now it's 68 grams per day. Listen, our guts will, over the next 1,000 years, either naturally select for people that can process these ingredients really well, like freaking Dwight Howard or DK Metcalf, who apparently were putting down close to 1,000 grams of sugar a day and were monster athletes in the NBA and NFL, or our guts will negatively select against those that are consuming those products. For now, though, we have to just accept that most of us aren't equipped to process these ingredients efficiently and should try avoiding them. Just think, if it has more than a couple of grams of sugar, has anything synthetic or artificial in it or coating it, it's unlikely to be ideal for your gut health. That being said, I get it. The average person is also insanely busy and living paycheck to paycheck. Following this diet to the T and sustaining it for life is simply impractical unless you're one of those Shaolin monks taking nut cakes on the daily. That's right, I'm saying that following these diets to perfection is comparable to getting kicked in the nuts or the ovaries on the daily. Let's call it what it is. So obviously shoot for moderation. Most discipline experts say that a 70-30 split works well for long-term sustainability, i.e., for every one serving of indulgence, hit yourself with 2 to 3 servings of something our guts are optimized for. Basically, throw a bunch of walnuts and raspberries into your ice cream dessert, you naughty little pixie. Thank you for joining me on how to naturally select your diet.